Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to another I Tell Eats and Treats video where we prioritize health and longevity. Today I'm going to show you all how to make the most delicious, creamy and affordable homemade oat milk that is not slimy and that tastes super delicious. So before we go ahead and get into the recipe, I do have to say I am using the Nama M1 plant-based milk maker. I absolutely adore this machine. I use it to make all of my homemade milks. I haven't bought any oat milk, almond milk, cashew milk or any type of plant-based milk in this store in literally years. I've been using this thing for the past year. I make homemade milks every couple days and it comes out incredible every time. I always make my friends matchas and lattes with my homemade milk, and they say it's literally the best lattes they've ever had. Nama is currently doing their Black Friday sale with the Nama M1 plant-based milk maker being 20% off. It's the biggest sale of the year. You can use code Tiffany20 and the link in the description box, and the sale does end December 1st on Cyber Monday, and you want to make sure you don't miss it because it is the biggest sale of the year. So that is the machine that I will be using today, and if you're interested in getting it, like I said, a link is in the description box down below. Let's go ahead and move on to some of the tips and tricks on how to make the best, creamiest, non-slimy homemade oat milk. So first things first, you want to make sure you are using rolled oats. Quick oats are probably one of the quickest way to get slimy oats. See what I did there? Quick oats, one of the quickest ways. These are basically much wholer and much bigger, and they're going to take a little bit of a less time to break down into slime compared to quick oats. So you always want to make sure you're using a rolled oat. You can cop this big old thing at Aldi for like $2-3, and this thing can last you for breakfast for probably about a month, and this can make you gallons and gallons and gallons of homemade oat milk. Purchasing oat milk in the store is just so expensive. There's one brand I know, I think called Milk or something, and it comes with clean ingredients, right? It's basically just like oats, water and a little bit of salt, but it's so expensive, around $5 to $7 for 1 liter. And I know a couple other brands that do the same, like Forager. All the brands that are really clean ingredients are typically very expensive for oat milk, when you could literally just go to the store, grab some rolled oats for a couple bucks and have this last you for months. So that was step 1, making sure that you're using rolled oats. Step 2, make sure you're using super cold water, ice cold water. All right, I'm gonna be putting ice cubes in this to cool it down. Actually, let me go ahead and do that right now. So what the ice cubes do is that whenever oatmeal is heated up, it becomes really slimy, and you know, because it is a starch, it's from basically wheat. So we want to make sure that we're using really cold water, and we're not blending for too long either. This is going to slow down the amount of time that it takes for this to get super slimy. I hope you all can hear me. By the way, I decided to be really creative with my microphone. All right, let's do more ice cubes. Do not be shy with your ice cubes, all right? If you are watching this and you're also using a Nama M1, you want to go ahead and take the ice cubes out, okay? If you're using a blender, I suppose you can blend with ice cubes, but I don't want chunky oat milk. So I'm gonna be taking out my ice cubes. I'm gonna let that ice sit in there and really just cool down. And if the ice cubes have not melted by the time I'm done measuring everything, I'll go ahead and take them out. I have been adding a little pinch of pink Himalayan salt to all of my plant-based milk recipes. It really helps to bring out the natural sweetness. When I had tried the Forager clean ingredient oat milk from the store, actually I had bought it on accident. I thought it was kefir, but I actually bought the oat milk. It actually turned out to be really sweet without any sweeteners, and I feel like that is because of the salt. The salt just really brings out the natural sweetness and stuff. So this is a really great additive. Sorry if you couldn't hear the past few things I was saying because my microphone was down there, but yeah. Adding in some pink Himalayan salt or just any salt in general really ups the sweetness levels of homemade milks without having to add any extra sweetener like sugar or agave or anything like that. Completely optional, but I will be adding a little tip of vanilla. I want to finish this oat milk in 2 days because I am going on a trip and I want this milk to be super duper fresh, and I'm only going to be using this milk for basically my matcha lattes as well as my hojicha lattes. And I really love this vanilla. It's not alcohol based, it's based off of a vegetable glycerin. And here's another reason why I love making my own homemade plant-based milks, because I get to control all of the ingredients in there. Hello, yes please. Alright, so here is the M1. I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring everything into this. I also heard a tip that if you want your oat milk to be non-slimy, you can go ahead and freeze your oats. I have not tried that method before, but I feel like it would really help and really help to control the slime level of your homemade oat milk. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and scoop this out 3 times because this is the 3rd cup. We're gonna make sure we're using 1 cup in total. 1, 2, 3. Now let me go ahead and scoop out all of the ice in this water. By the way, I'm using 3 cups of water. It's probably more by now because I did put in the ice and it melted a bit. All right, let's go ahead and pour our water inside. Make sure this part is closed, okay? If it's not closed, the whole of your stuff are gonna wash right out. Make sure this is closed. Tad bit of salt and about half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I usually do 2 capfuls. Okay, so that's literally it. I don't have to squeeze a nut milk bag or anything. That's what I love about this machine. It strains out everything and it gets the pulp super dry and super nice, so you can repurpose the pulp. You can turn it into oat flour if you want to. You can turn it into energy balls. I've used it to make energy balls and granola before. So delicious. So let's go ahead and get started. Another thing really important to note about making homemade oat milk that's not slimy is to make sure you do not blend it for a long time. If you blend it for anything over 35 seconds, it will get super slimy, whether you're using a Nama M1, a blender, a juicer. So I always try to make sure I do it for 40 seconds or under. As you can see, it's set at 35 seconds. All I need to do is click the button. It's so quick and easy. And now it's gonna go ahead and do a reverse spin cycle to get even more liquid out. It's gonna be straining or getting out the liquid for about 10 seconds, and then it's gonna do that reverse spin cycle. Okay, it's been about a minute and a half, maybe 1 minute, and our milk is here. It's really, really cold, so I know the ice has done its job in terms of sliminess. Let's go ahead and pour it up and see what it tastes like. That looks so good. All right, let me try it really quickly and see how it tastes. It tastes really good. It tastes really fresh, really creamy, and it's really frothy. And this is gonna be perfect for lattes, perfect for matcha lattes, perfect for coffee lattes, perfect for oatmeal. I guess you'd have like an infinite oatmeal glitch. Making oatmeal with oat milk is pretty hilarious. But this is gonna be perfect for drinks and whatever else you might think. Let's go ahead and really quickly check out the pulp from this. As you could see earlier, it literally just poured out the milk on its own. And here is the pulp in this nice little thing. It's separated all beautifully. All you gotta do is just pull this out. If you ever find it's a bit too tight to come out, you literally can just get a butter knife and just like nudge it right here in this little crack. You pull it out and you see, wait, hold on. So it's really easy to separate and get everything out. And here's all your pulp. And like I told you all, I don't tell a lie. I might tell a joke, but I don't tell a lie. This pulp is so incredibly dry. It's actually insane. I always have a nightmare when I'm making it in a blender because I have to do the whole thing where I'm squeezing it out of the nut milk bag. But this pulp is so dry, you could easily dehydrate it and turn it into like an oat flour, a gluten-free oat flour. Or you could turn these into energy balls or add it to granola. So I feel like that's all that I need to say. I don't want to chat your ear off. Like I said, if you're interested in the Nama M1 plant-based milk maker, make sure you go ahead and get that before December 1st when the Black Friday sale ends. It's 20% off the Nama M1 plant-based milk maker and all other Nama products as well. Thank you so much for tuning in on today's video. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!